everyone, welcome back to Season 6 of Which is the Moon. I am your Friday hostess, Natalie. I am very excited to be back. We have an excellent season this year, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy Season 6. We have a breadth of new topics to cover, and this week, as you know, is spirit. Now, in this case, we're discussing spirit as the elemental spirit. So, I'm going to make a distinction between the element of spirit as we use it and dealing with the spirit realm, which will also be covered. That's next week's topic, actually. So this week, what I want to do is discuss a little bit about okay, I apologize. Had a little bit of an interruption there. You'll have to forgive some of the noise and so forth. Anyhow, I do want to make a distinction between the element of spirit and spirit as we talk about it in terms of working with the spirit world and things like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the definition of spirit as it is given by Timothy Roderick in his book, Another Year and a Day. He defines spirit as, in myth, the dimension of spirit is where all journeys begin and end. On pagan paths, spirit does not reside in some other realm. Instead, witches see spirit as a part of their ordinary world. Spirit may not even be recognized at the beginning of one's journey, as it is residing in plain sight. It takes journey to open one's eyes enough to see that spirit is the very life that we have now. Now, other definitions of spirit that I've seen around are anything that deals with the non-physical world. So for us, in terms of, or my interpretation at least, of the element of spirit is that energy that resides around us that is not in a physical form or being used in a kinetic form, if that makes any sense, going on a sciencey basis. So in other words, all the potential energy and all the energies that are floating around us in the universe now, those are all dealing with the realm of spirit, energy that is not being housed within a physical state. So when we work, how do we as witches work with the element of spirit? We call upon spirit, we direct spirit. So when you are, if you are a circle caster, not everybody that does work is a circle caster. Not everybody uses that. That would be working with the element of spirit because you are visualizing that energy, that non-physical force to create a barrier, a spiritual barrier of some sort, although be it permeable because you don't want your boundary to be unpermeable. Otherwise, good couldn't get in. Nothing could get in. It would just be as it is. But you want to keep out things that are harmful. So you put up some sort of a barrier to keep those negative energies kind of occupied or bounded. So that is how one way in which we utilize the element of spirit in our practice. We also direct our energy in terms of spell casting and working. That is a use of the element of spirit. When we are directing our energy towards something, whether it be a healing, a curse, a hex, spell casting of any kind, in my opinion, is using the element of spirit. So it can be encapsulated or used in conjunction with other elements such as earth. When you use a wand, you're directing spirit through the element of the earth, which is the wand. When you are speaking, then you are putting forth that energy because words, sound is energy. It puts it into the realm of spirit once it's left your mind. I actually think when it's in your mind, it is still within that realm of spirit because as above, so below, things have to be conceptualized. That energy is going on in our brain, so that is another method of working with the element of spirit. So our thoughts and our visualizations, that is a use of this element of spirit. That is simply how I see it. Now, I know that there may be other definitions. Other people might see it a little bit differently than I do, but that's my definition. And to me, it's very hard to extricate spirit from anything else. And that includes things like trees and herbs, candles even, because fire requires energy, which requires spirit. It automatically puts it into the realm of spirit. When you are speaking, you're taking energy from your brain and transforming it into the element of air, putting it out as a sound wave. So you're combining the elements of air. I'm going to go back and do a little speech hearing science with you because I am a speech language pathologist. That's my day job. When you're talking about speech and hearing, you are taking words and you are creating a wave of energy from your mouth, okay? That energy is the element of spirit, but it is being conducted through the element of air, if that makes sense. So as that wave ripples through the air and hits the eardrum, it vibrates the bones in the middle ear space, which then hits the, connects to the nerve, the auditory nerve, and then sends it as an electrical symbol up specific channels through the brain where it's received technically on the left side, and then sent all over the brain in various different parts and elements where it's organized and interpreted and seen as speech. So needless to say, if there's any kind of interruption along that pathway, whether it be conductive or neurological, then you aren't going to hear. So that being said, all of that takes a bit of spirit in conjunction with other elements such as air in this case. Same thing with music, which we'll get into later this season. All of that takes some element of spirit. Spirit is that vital energy within all of us that vibrates, that makes us alive and being, that connects us with the universe as a whole and with one another as human beings. Spirit is imbued in everything, and I find it very difficult to separate the element of spirit from anything that we do. Your soul is spirit right now. It's housed within your physical body, but at death it's released. Well, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Therefore, your energy when you die must go somewhere. Is it grounded back into the earth? Perhaps. Is it sent out? Perhaps. Maybe a little of both. And so you don't cease to exist just as you are. Your physical being ceases to exist, but your energy is still out there. And that's something that makes it very easy for me to believe in a spirit world in terms of the spirit world that we contact and work with when we're talking about our ancestors, and we'll get into all of that next week. I'm really trying to focus this talk on the element of spirit itself. So when working with spirit, again, we can direct it through the use of a wand. We can direct it through the use of the pentacle. We can direct it through the use of herbs, because certain things vibrate at a certain level and they provide it. So anytime you're using correspondences, color, and so forth, you're calling on the element of spirit to be transformed, or how can I say it, enhanced. You are enhancing the element of spirit that you're working with by using correspondences. That's the terminology I'm trying to work for. Sorry, it's been a very long summer. So in terms of using the element of spirit, we call upon spirit as an energy force, and we utilize that. We direct it within our workings, and that is how we work with spirit. Now, when you do meditations or you do spell casting in terms of any kind of working where you are focusing your energy, that is also working with the element of spirit. So when you are meditating and you're trying to cleanse yourself, or you're cleansing a space, you're calling on the element of spirit to cleanse that out. Now, I'm sure that there are some people that will not agree with me. Feel free to do so. I would love to see your comments. I'd like to see your interpretations of spirit as an element, not differentiating it from the spirit world, not part of the spirit world itself, but the element of spirit. We call upon the element of spirit particularly for healing as well. We're looking at how well can we focus those energies for the benefit of healing someone and sending that energy to them in a positive way that's going to cure whatever may be going on negatively in terms of energy, because even cancer itself is an energy. So when we send that energy forth, we're calling on the element of spirit to conduct it. And I think particularly that's true if you're doing a distance type of healing thing. So when somebody who is not of a pagan background asks you, pray for me, I always kind of chuckle, because to me they're simply asking you to send that positive energy to them. They're calling upon the power of spirit. And I don't think that they would deny that. I think they would say yes, in their opinion they're calling on the Holy Spirit if they're Christian based, and if they're some other religion of a book, they may still refer to it as Holy Spirit. And so I think that the belief in the element of spirit itself, and in spirit being sourced from the divine, is kind of a universal truth that's accepted throughout all the different religions. Even when you start looking at non-Christian based religions, and particularly us, we feel that element of spirit is very strong, and it's what connects us one to another and creates this general pulse of energy throughout our world. And in my opinion, that is very vital to the practice of witchcraft and the practice of a pagan path. Some people don't believe that witchcraft is a religion. If that's your view, that's your view, and you're certainly entitled to hold it. For me, it is a religion because I define religion as your guiding principles that form your lifestyle. To me, that is your religion, and it doesn't have to be a God-headed, so to speak, religion. There are a lot of people that I think consider themselves atheists. Their religion is atheistic, meaning they don't see it as having a Godhead, but they do believe in universal truths. Well, universal truths have to be sourced somewhere. There must be a divine. So whether they believe in God as Christianity defines it or as religions of the book define it, it's irrelevant. I think the idea of spirit as an element is universal, and we see it as a source of divine. And for us, that spirit itself may be your Godhead, so to speak. So I feel that it's a very universal principle that's spread throughout various different religions because it is a truth and it can't be divided. And I think that it's very difficult to divide the element of spirit from anything else because everything is sourced from it. I see the element of spirit as a source. Think of it as like a springing up. You know, it wells up and it comes out, and physical things come out of that. So anytime you look at something, a chair, the computer that you're viewing this video on, this glass of wine, then why do you think they call wine spirits? Because it comes from some source and is then therefore created and manifest into a physical thing. Now, I don't think that all spirit manifests itself into a physical thing. Some things are always spirit, and we'll get into that next week. So that's kind of my spiel on that. That's how I view the element of spirit. I think we work with it in conjunction with other things because it cannot be divided from other things. Spirit is all-encompassing, all encapsulated, and always there. But you can direct spirit as an energy to do certain things, and we should do that with caution and understanding that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, so you have to be prepared for the consequences of what you do. And I do believe that the element of spirit is probably the most powerful element that's out there because everything sources from it. So I hope that this talk has given you guys a little bit of food for thought on the element of spirit. I think it's something we take for granted that we don't really think about. We think about the spirit world and we work with spirits and we contact our ancestor spirits, but we don't think about spirit as an elemental really a lot. And in terms of the elementals, I think it's overlooked a lot in terms of people sometimes will include it, but it's not something that's really talked about. So I hope that this week has been fruitful for you guys in developing a better understanding of spirit, or at least an intellectual interest in spirit as an elemental, and moving forth and being more conscious of your work with spirit as an element. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys back more this season and the interactions this season. Thank you so much for being a part of season 6, and welcome back to Which is the Moon. Many bright blessings. Thank you.